If you've been applying to jobs and hearing nothing back, not even a rejection, just silence, there's a very real possibility your resume is being filtered out by hiring systems, sometimes enhanced by AI, before a human ever sees it. Not because you're unqualified and not because you don't have experience, but because of how hiring systems actually work behind the scenes. And here's the problem. Most job seekers are optimizing for the wrong audience. They're writing resumes for recruiters when in reality, their resume has to pass through multiple layers of filtering systems first. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly what's happening, how your resume is being evaluated before it ever reaches a person, and more importantly, what strategic professionals understand that most job seekers completely miss. Now, before we dive in, if you're new here, this channel is all about giving you real insight into how the hiring process actually works. Not just surface level advice, but what's happening behind the scenes so you can navigate your career with clarity and confidence. Go ahead, hit subscribe and turn on notifications because every week I break this down for experienced professionals like you. If we haven't met, my name is Chuk Sagata. Most people know me as Dr. Hay. I'm an executive career coach and former executive recruiter. And through career calibration, I have helped directors, VPs, and senior leaders land six-figure plus roles, often without relying on traditional application strategies. And I can tell you firsthand, when I worked in large organizations, we weren't sitting there reviewing every resume that came in. And at one point, we had thousands of applications coming in per role. There had to be a system, and that system wasn't built to understand you. It was built to filter. And if you don't understand how that filtering works, you could be a highly qualified candidate and still never make it through. So here's the first thing to understand. Your resume is not being read first. It's being filtered. Most companies use an applicant tracking system, an ATS, but what many people don't realize is it's not just storing your resume, it's evaluating it, matching it, ranking it, and sometimes rejecting it outright before a recruiter even logs in. Now, this doesn't mean AI is deciding your fate in some dramatic way, but it does mean this: your resume is being compared against a defined set of criteria. And if alignment isn't clear, you don't move forward, even if you're qualified. This is why so many professionals say, I know I can do this job, but I'm not getting interviews. It's not always about your capability, it's about how your experience is being interpreted by a system. Now, let's address the question that's probably already in your mind. Is AI rejecting my resume? The answer is yes and no. AI can be a part of the process, but it's not sitting there like a human reading your resume and deciding if you're good enough. What actually is happening is more layered than that. Many companies are now using AI-assisted tools to extract and interpret information from your resume, match your background against job requirements, help rank or prioritize candidates. But here's the key. AI is not replacing the system, it's enhancing it. So instead of just keyword matching, you now have smarter filtering, which means the system is better at identifying patterns, better at spotting alignment or lack of alignment, and faster at narrowing down candidates. And this is where many professionals get caught off guard because they assume if I have the experience, I should get through. But AI-enhanced systems are asking a different question. How clearly does this candidate's experience match what we're looking for? Not just do they have experience, but does it translate clearly? And if it doesn't, you can still be filtered out. Now, let's talk about something most people have heard before: keywords. Yes, your resume needs to align with the language in the job description. But here's where people get it wrong. They either stuff their resume with keywords unnaturally or assume having a few keywords is enough, but the system isn't just scanning for isolated words. It's looking for contextual alignment, meaning do your role, responsibilities, and outcomes reflect the same patterns as the job? For example, if a role emphasizes cross-functional leadership, strategic planning, stakeholder management, but your resume says responsible for team coordination, that may not translate, even if you did the same work. So it's not just keywords, it's how clearly your experience maps to the role. This is where things get even more important, Because even if your resume is a match, that doesn't mean it gets seen. Most systems rank candidates, and recruiters don't go through every resume. They start at the top. So now the question becomes, are you in the top 10% or buried somewhere in the middle? And ranking can be influenced by things like how closely your resume matches the job criteria, recency of relevant experience, job titles and progression, even how your application is structured. And now with AI layered into some of these systems, ranking is becoming more dynamic, meaning it's not just static keyword matches anymore. Some systems are evaluating how closely your experience aligns across multiple dimensions, how your career progression compares to other candidates, even how your background fits patterns of previously successful hires. So you're not just being compared to the job, you're being compared to other candidates in the system. Quick question for you. Have you ever applied to a role you felt highly qualified for and never even got a response? If so, type no response in the comments. I read these and it helps me understand what you're experiencing in real time. And if this is already shifting your perspective, go ahead and hit the like button so more professionals can see this. Now, here's something most people don't realize. Your formatting matters more than you think, not just visually, but technically. Some systems struggle to properly parse complex templates, graphics, icons or columns, non-standard section headers. So what happens? Your experience gets misread or worse, ignored. You might have the right background, but if the system can't clearly interpret it, you lose alignment points. This is why simple, structured resumes often perform better, not because they look better, but because they are easier for systems to process. So here's the bigger picture. Most roles today receive hundreds, sometimes thousands of applications. So companies have optimized for efficiency, not depth, which means the goal of the system is not to find the best candidate immediately, it's to reduce the pool quickly. And this is where many professionals get stuck because they assume if I'm qualified, I should be considered. But the system is not designed to give everyone a fair review. It's designed to narrow the field. And if you're relying only on applications, you are stepping into the most competitive and least controllable part of the process. Now, this is where the shift happens. Strategic professionals don't rely solely on being found. They position themselves to be seen beyond the system. They understand applications are just one channel, not the strategy. They build direct connections with decision makers, internal referrals, visibility within their target organizations, and this is why relying solely on applications has become even riskier in today's market. Because the more advanced these systems become, including AI-assisted filtering, the more precise your positioning has to be, or you risk being filtered out faster. Because when that happens, you're no longer just a resume in the system. You become a known candidate. And that changes everything. If you're watching this and realizing, I've been doing everything right, but still not getting traction, there's a good chance it's not about effort, it's about strategy. And that's exactly what we help experienced professionals fix inside Career Calibration. If you want help positioning yourself strategically so you're not just applying, but actually getting into conversations, I'll include a link below where you can learn more and apply to work with us. And if you found this helpful, you'll definitely want to watch this next video right here, where I break down how hiring systems actually rank your resume and why some candidates never get seen at all. See you next time. Over and out.